All right, here's Sweat's first sack of the season. Eagles are trying to run a run action bootleg, right? So they've got this guy going down here, then you've got a crosser, you've got a deep corner out, and then he's supposed to be your bang, check, and then release like that, right? Run action. So they're trying to show run. It's a bootleg. Quarterback's going to fake the handoff and try to get out that way. Let's watch what happens on this play. Montez Sweat gets involved. Quarterback Carson Wentz turns around, and Sweat he's in his face. Now, for one, Sweat does a really good job of not jumping, not getting himself out of position. Wentz is typically a very, shifty or slippery quarterback in the pocket, I guess. This year was not the same, but for him to be in this position one-on-one and come down with the sack is pretty impressive even still. I remember when it happened, being impressed with that and brings him down there. But you can just kind of see the power and the speed of Sweat, right? He's lined up right here over this tight end. And again, this tight end here, this is supposed to be Wentz's outlet. So he's supposed to get his hands on Sweat and then let him go and release. And then Sweat's supposed to get that free run at the quarterback. But by that time, Wentz should be headed this way, and he should have been able to process his reads, get the ball out. But watch this. Watch the physicality first by Sweat. Boom. Get off of me. Right, it doesn't give him a chance. He never gets his hands. The tight end never gets his hands on Sweat. He gets his body on him, but not his hands. And then it affects the timing of the play, because at this point, Sweat shouldn't be headed to the quarterback while this guy's back is still facing the quarterback. At this point, they should still be engaged here while Sweat's getting around, while Wentz is getting around, and then in about a second, this guy should be releasing. So there should be about another second or two before Sweat is really in Wentz's face, but he blows this play up and then does a really good job one-on-one to bring him down. Get through the block, or the kind of half block. And again, right here, I mean, there's no one open for Wentz, right? We can go back half a second and see there's no one open. Right, when he's trying to look to throw, this guy just now released. He's behind, he's late. Sweat makes a really good play. First sack of the year.
All right, here they're just showing a base nickel alignment, right? Montez Sweat lined up in his right defensive end spot. You've got your two linebackers, Kevin Pierre-Louis, John Bostic in the middle. Kendall Fuller is the nickel back over here off screen, and then they're running cover 3. Troy Apke right here is going to be your single high safety. It looks base, but what they end up doing is, rather than it being this right here and this right here, they're going to have Bostic get over here. You're going to have Ryan Kerrigan drop into what Bostic's zone would have been. And you're going to have Kevin Pierre-Louis blitzing off the edge. And what it's going to do is it's going to cause this left tackle here to get a little confused when Kevin Pierre-Louis comes. He rushes. Then you've got Montez Sweat coming free off the edge. So it's a really well-designed blitz that just, it works perfectly. It's only 5-man protection against a 4-man rush, but you end up getting a free rusher. So Sweat has a pretty easy rush to the quarterback, but let's watch and see what happens, because the free rush is one thing, but how he finishes is another. Right, so there's your linebacker blitz, Kevin Pierre-Louis. There's the left tackle having a decision to make, and he opts for KPL and leaves Montez Sweat free rush. So he doesn't have to beat anybody, but watch the speed here now. Watch the speed. Let's see that again. Again, a really well-designed blitz that works to perfection. And then just watch the speed. Watch how he closes in on Baker Mayfield. And now what ends up happening here, it doesn't end up being a sack. Baker Mayfield is able to get the ball out of his hands just in time. However, it gets called for intentional grounding because the ball doesn't make it to the line of scrimmage. And so it's a loss of down and intentional grounding, which is the same as a sack. This play just shows off Montez Sweat athleticism, right? He didn't win here. He didn't have to win, but just the sheer speed. Man, he's so big, and just to be moving that fast at that size is insane.
All right, now they've got their base 4-3 alignment. You've got your 3 linebackers here: Bostic, Kevin Pierre-Louis, Thomas Davis.
Landon Collins playing tight to the line. It's just a 4-man rush this time. Montez Sweat against, again, the rookie Jedrick Wills, rookie left tackle. And it's a sticks concept. I'm not showing the other angle, but you're going to have this out. You'll have another out off screen, and then you'll have Chubb out of the backfield. And Baker Mayfield should let this ball go, but the moment he decides not to, the play is over. Montez Sweat is just there. Remember, Chase Young had to leave this game due to an injury. And here we've got a nice rush. Sweat. He's going to size him up and then go inside, take an inside move, and just lean on his body. And at this point, it's just power. Power getting there, finding the quarterback, and then bringing him down. Takes a little stutter step right outside and then comes inside right there. And then, again, power, find the quarterback, and get to him. Take him down. And really nice sack here, Montez Sweat on first down. 2nd and 11 against the Rams in Week 5. Now, they're in their base 4-3 alignment, 2 wide receivers, right? They've got I formation in the backfield. This is zone defense by Washington. Dead giveaways that you've got your left cornerback, Ronald Darby, here on this side of the formation, even though you've got the 2 wide receivers over here. Pretty dead giveaway. I think this is Kevin Pierre-Louis. He's not in man against one of these receivers, so it is zone. And they're just trying to work a dig and a crosser right there, and they got a little out of the backfield. But they're going to make a big mistake on this play. Montez Sweat here, left defensive end, blocked by a tight end. And we'll see how it ends. Massive collision, fumble. If recovered by Washington, would have been a huge play in the game. Unfortunately, the Rams did recover the ball, but look at Sweat over here being blocked by the tight end. That's Tyler Higbee. The speed and the strength is just entirely too much. Again, a massive collision. You see, if you go back here, you can see him, the arms already. He gets underneath him, right, under his shoulder pads. And then at this point, he just gets around him. So he gets on him, he stretches his arms out, long arms, and then he uses his speed just to get around him, and there's the sack. Awesome stuff. This isn't a big play, but it just goes to show the length of Montez Sweat and how he can use it to make plays defensively. This is a running play. It's going to end up going for no gain. Sweat making the tackle at the line of scrimmage right there. But let's go back and just watch how he uses his arms to just stay in the right position, right? Look at it right there. Watch him right here, right? Not letting the lineman, left tackle, get his hands on him. Here, same thing. And then he's able to follow the running back and then chase him outside and make the tackle. Length and speed. Now this is a play people probably remember. Sweat over here at right defensive end. He's responsible for containing the bootleg in the event that this is play action. You see he's squared up trying to read out whether the quarterback has handed that ball off or whether he's kept it. So he's responsible for that, does a good job on that. Once he realizes the running back has the ball, this is going to end up being a big gain. Bad tackling, the 2nd and 3rd levels. And then look at Sweat. Your defensive end chasing down the running back 30 yards down the field. Here's Sweat right here. Just once he gets going, look at that speed. Chasing down the running back down the field. Defensive ends are not supposed to be able to do that. I like this play here by Sweat. It shows how he's learning how to use his hands really well to win around the edge. As a defensive end, learning how to use your hands is critical to becoming a really good player. Pressures and sacks. So, again, he always has the length to get his arms stretched out in the chest of a lineman right here. It's always going to make it more difficult to get your hands on defensive end when he's got his arms stretched out in your chest, right? That's why arm length matters so much, offensive and defensive linemen. But what I like here that Sweat does is he gets his left hand up and he uses it against the right hand of the offensive lineman, right? So the right tackle here is trying to get his hands on Sweat, and Sweat is using his own hands to block that from happening. So when he gets around the edge, all he has to do is disengage like that, just up and then get it, swat it down essentially, and then you've got a clear path to the quarterback. It was a really nice play and great hand usage by Montez Sweat. Just an easy win around the edge. Boom, swat it down and go. One thing that Sweat has become very good at is batting down passes around the line of scrimmage. He did it at least 3 times in the Steelers game. And, I mean, just watch here. Go back just a second. I mean, the arm length again. I mean, his last one led to an interception that sealed the game. Breaking up this play, he might have had some room to run here if you can break this one tackle. So, I mean, again, he did this against the Cowboys as well, got an interception several times throughout the season. That length really helps with his ability to diagnose the play and then react and then stop the play from happening. And here he is again. This one was for the game, right? If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up. And you see they're chipping him off the edge. Eric Ebram is chipping him. Steelers getting the ball out quick. Sweat's not going to have time to get there. Get those hands up, those long arms. And this one leads to an interception. Awesome instincts, being coached up to do this, having the instincts to do it, and then having the physical ability to just stop the ball, reach the ball wherever it is. Here's another sack where I love the hand usage by Montez Sweat. Lined up over the left tackle. And you're going to see it. Bridgewater's looking this way, quick, wants to get it out that way, nothing there, and doesn't have time to get back to anything else. This is about as fast as a sack can happen. Just easy. And I say I like the hand usage again because watch it here. He gets that left arm, again, into the chest of that offensive lineman. But then that right hand, he uses it, matches it with the hand of the lineman, and just pushes it away. So he's not allowing the offensive lineman to get his hands on him. From that point, he's got him off balance. He's upright. Sweat has the strength to just push him back with one arm. You see, he's doing all that with one arm right there. Pushing him back with one arm. And again, if you use your hands against the offensive lineman's hands, that's how you really become a very good pass rusher in the NFL. Don't allow them to get your hands on you, and the best way to do it is with your own hands.